obviously the ending, him being the one who started the whole fight, and he even saying, "My father is evil. We need to destroy him." Like that literally reminded me of Zuko. I was like, literally, is this like the Zuko of the show? Where he's like, at the end, they and he even apologizes to Cullum, saying, "I'm sorry for hurting you. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was just following my father's ways." So like, I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it was very Zuko-esque. Like his entire arc is very Zuko-esque. I feel like they definitely took one from the Zuko playbook.
Exactly. All right, so again, we finished season 3 of Dragon Prince, and you know what's been interesting me now? This character named Soren, and Soren. For those of you who don't know, he was basically the villain of season 1, who goes through some emotional trauma in season 2 that makes him want to be a hero and kind of save the day in season 3. That sounds like similar to a character we know, isn't that right, Scott?
Soren definitely comes off as very similar in terms of arc as Zuko. At
Mm-hmm.
first, I thought he was a really, really not very smart character,
Mm-hmm.
just because he provoked the dragon to attack the town. I thought that was his dumbest like ever thing, and then he tried attacking the dragon, and then broke his bones and stuff. He started off like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then towards the end of season 3, or not towards the end, but during season 3, he broke Ezran out of jail. He basically informed everyone else too, so he formed that band and made the plan. And after that, he still traveled with his father, and then he realized when his father was way out offline, and then left him, and then went to warn the others. And so it was like he was the only character that was sensible, I feel.
Exactly. The idiot is the only sensible character of your show. What does that say about this series? Yeah. Again, season 1. Again, he was one of my problems I hated. Where I thought, because Soren and Claudia, and then I guess the elves are supposed to go after Rayla, Erzin, and Colum.
Ezran.
Or Ezra, there we go, and call him right.
Yeah.
So it's like these are supposed to be our threats, and I'm just looking at Soren and Claudia. I'm like, these are our villains. I mean, they're out there making fart jokes, like, who, like this is supposed to be something I'm supposed to be intrigued, right? And then they meet them in season 2, and it's kind of it's cute-ish, it's whatever. But it was only until season 2 where we had that ending part where he got his leg almost injured, and he starts to rethink about his life and reevaluate why he's doing it. And like, why am I going with my father and stuff? Where it's like, what the hell? Like, this character who's supposed to be an idiot, not like important thing, is actually having like character development, which most of these other characters in the show are not having character development. So it's like that shift was really crazy. And then the shift where he releases Azrin, and he's just like, yeah, this is not what my father is doing, is not good or whatever. And it's just like, wow, like this character. And like, part of me knew that he would betray, but the fact that there weren't like the fact that he was already on board with, this is my father's evil person, I'm still having doubts, let me erase Azrin so quickly. I was just like surprised, like they actually played off of this. Like, he had a character development, and they're playing off it in season 3. So like stuff like that. And then obviously the ending, him being the one who started the whole fight, and he even saying, "My father is evil. We need to destroy him." Like that literally reminded me of Zuko. I was like, literally, is this like the Zuko of the show? Where he's like, at the end, they and he even apologizes to Cullum, saying, "I'm sorry for hurting you. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was just following my father's ways." So like, I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it was very Zuko-esque. Like his entire arc is very Zuko-esque. I feel like they definitely took one from the Zuko playbook.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
even the fact that his father thinks less of him, and his sister is kind of like the more cooler, accomplished one.
Yeah, true.
That also plays into it.
Yeah, the mom's gone.
Yeah, the mom is gone. Yeah, I feel like that was definitely yeah, it felt like a lot like Zuko, like that I really liked. The only thing I wish they could have done, and this goes back to season 3 being rushed, I wish there was more time with Soren with the team, because I feel like one of my problems with season 2, and I think I mentioned this again in the video, that I felt like if Soren was part of that group, it would have made the dynamic more interesting. Because like, although now he's on their side, but before, like if you had a scene where it's like we don't know if Soren's supposed to be on their side or not, and Rayla doesn't trust them. But the reason why they don't trust Rayla is because Rayla's an elf, so it's like this 4-way triangle or whatever. That would have been an interesting dynamic. And even though that dynamic couldn't appear in this season, the fact that Soren came in, it to me, if they had more time with him, I felt like that would have built a lot more. I still feel like I would care to watch 2 more episodes before they fought with Soren building this character development. Because again, he was just such a well-developed character. It's just like, wow, like you did not expect that. Like no one would have expected him to be where he's at now.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that we expected him to betray his father, but we didn't know to like what extent, right?
Yeah. And
we didn't. I think it made it all more like impactful that he did it alone, like
exactly.
like without his sister.
Exactly.
And that made it like that much more like effective, you know?
Exactly.
Because if it was the two of them, then yeah, that would have been cool. But the fact that he did it entirely on his own.
Yeah.
And is supposed to be this like very low intelligence character too.
Exactly. Well, maybe not intelligence, but maybe he's, emotionally intelligent, or he can understand when people have dark chakra. He's like, I'm not logically understanding this, but emotionally I feel something wrong with this character. And they're like, screw your emotions. Follow the rational way. But to me...
Yeah, but I think Viren was implying that, Soren can be kind of dumb.
That's true. But for me, the biggest thing and what really, really got me with the whole betrayal of the father was the fact that he wasn't even afraid to kill his own father. Like... That's really like, there's one being like your father's dark, whatever, he's corrupted, go along your life. But 2, to be like, you know what, I got to do what I have to do, end his life. And obviously he didn't end his life, but that moment right there, like I was really shocked. Like I was just like, whoa, like I know his father wasn't real. So I guess it's like, there's not much weight to it. But the fact that he was even willing to do it, like if that was his actual father, he would have just gone for it. It was just like.
Yeah. And he was shocked. He was in shock after he thought he killed his father.
Yeah.
So I actually, like while watching, I thought he did. And I was like, yeah, but like he didn't. And I was like, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that he's willing to do the right thing is what makes him a very redeemable character, is what makes him very likable. And yeah, he's my favorite character of the whole show. Like, I feel like I don't like Callum at all. I do like Ezrin. I know you said that he didn't do too much in the first seasons.
Yeah.
But I still do like him as a character. He made a really dumbass move in the 3rd season. But I still like him more than Callum.
Me too.
And Rayla, I do like Rayla a lot. I for some reason I still just like Soren and Ezrin more than Rayla, in terms of character, but I do feel like Rayla has done way more than Ezrin.
That's true.
But in terms of likability, just my personal favorites, it's just Soren, Ezrin. I'll put Rayla in there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Ezrin, funny enough, you hate Ezrin because he did the dumb move. I like Ezrin because he was keen this season. So Ezrin definitely, I don't know, just seeing the kid.
I don't hate him. I just hate the fact that he did that. It's just so dumb.
It's fair enough. But I don't know. I like that he had to handle that responsibility. And, even as a kid, you see that struggle. And I like that because that made me more like empathize with him more as a kid, or not as a kid, as a character. So I like what they did with his character. And then again, Soren, obviously, they actually, and it's funny. And what makes this interesting too, especially with us liking Soren, like what made Soren likable again was that he went through this redemption. He went through a lot of situations in his life where he had to make hard life decision changes, and because of that we've seen the actions and we're seeing the positive effects of it. And it's just like I almost wish with these creators that they can literally take a blueprint of what they did with Soren and just do it with Column. Like, that's what I want. Like, make Column good as Soren. You know, because it's just Column is he's my biggest issue with the show that I have. It's just, his character is just like, in fact, funny enough that we brought up that we're comparing him to Zuko. Literally, there was one random scene in this season where Column gets a boomerang. He's like, boomerang!
I know, right, dude? Like, that was a huge Easter egg to Avatar fans.
It was. Like, there was no other reason why he just did it. It was just random. It's like out of the blue. He was like, boomerang. And I'm just thinking to myself, on one hand, that's funny. On the other hand, you're not Sokka. So...
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I think he said something about like this being familiar or whatever.
Yeah, he literally said, this is familiar. Boomerang. He said it just like how Sokka would say it too. So...
Yeah, it was just an Easter egg. I don't think too much on it.
I know, but it just reminded me of that. Like, it was just like, oh, I mean, he did a Sokka shout out, but it's not Sokka. But point is, Soren definitely grew as a character. He became more likable. Again, the death scene, I'll never, like, to me, the biggest thing I got from that finale was the fact he tried to kill his father. Like, anything else to me was not much of a highlight. But the fact that he tried to kill his father was like, whoa, like, that to me is just like, they made this character do this. Like, this is just such a redeeming character. I liked his narrative too. I liked how he was like, you know, I was supposed to protect the king, which was Ezrin's father, right? I was supposed to protect your father, but I failed at that. I'm not going to fail again. Exactly.
Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was great. That was like beautiful right there. It's like, yes. This is what I want from this show.
Exactly.
You know, I want character moments like that. Yeah. And you don't get that shit with Callum.
No, we don't.
Instead, you get like that lovey-dovey crap. Like, man, I grew my wings because I love you. That's it. I'm like, what? That's empty, man. That's so empty.
It is so empty. It's so empty. But yeah, we can definitely, again, like Zuko, again, being a character who in Avatar: The Last Airbender, he had the greatest redemption arc. To the point where we were all, I feel like most people were mad that he didn't go with the group in season 2. But had he not go with the group in season 2, he wouldn't have a stronger reason to go with the group in season 3. So it only helped with that. And I feel like Soren, despite the show not having that level of, I don't want to say, I guess caliber, not having the level of caliber of storytelling that they did or how they helped with Avatar, Soren does feel like a character. That connection between Zuko and Soren does feel like there's a genuineness towards why we can compare them because of the redemptions that they both went through. Right.
Yeah. I mean, overall, Zuko is still way more fleshed out, but definitely Soren, overall, best character in the show. There's nobody else that can top his character development.
Actually, okay, it's funny enough. I'm actually quite curious. Do you think they really did plan Soren's character development? Or was it just after, like, maybe when they were writing season 1, they're like, why don't we make this character more important later on?
I think they planned it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I 100% think they planned it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I suspect... I mean, what's the alternative, right? Like, he sticks with his father and becomes a freaking fire demon.
That's true. He dies. And then maybe that's where Claudia realized, maybe my father's not so great.
Yeah, maybe. But that would have been a waste of, a season 1 character.
That's definitely true. And I think part of me feels like, here's my theory about it. Like, I feel like maybe they would have, because Claudia obviously has magic, and they need Claudia for the elves or their Viren schemes, right? So they're like, we can't make Claudia betray him, so we have to have someone betray them. And then it's like, well, Soren. So that's kind of my theory on that.
Yeah, for these redemption arcs, I definitely think you have to plan it from like at least like close to the inception, just because it'll be kind of weird if all of a sudden a character you feel randomly betrays, Viren.
That's true. That it randomly happened. So I definitely think so. I guess my thing was like, was it like from season 1? Because I know Here's a fun thing about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Since we're talking about it, originally the creators didn't want Sokka to be in that long, but because of the voice actor and his energy, they kept him longer than what he was supposed to be.
Wait,
So
really?
yeah, really, like Sokka was just supposed to be like maybe 3 episodes. They Aang and Katara go on their own journey, but then they liked the voice actor's energy and attitude that they decided to keep him longer.
That's crazy.
So yeah,
Huh.
it's crazy to think about that. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking
that is extremely crazy to think about. Like, that would have been a completely different journey.
a different journey about Sokka, I know. So that's what I'm thinking. Had it like maybe I don't know if the Soren maybe the same thing where they finished book one and then they're like, what if we had a character who kind of blah blah blah, you know, betrays the, and then
Maybe.
they
Maybe.
added season 2 where he becomes more of that character.
Yeah, maybe. I definitely think it's possible.